Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Let Me Finish podcast, the LMF pod, hashtag LMF pod. I am your lovely, lovely host, Nia Pope, coming to you today with another solo episode. That's okay, but, that's a word that I have been embracing these past couple of weeks since you guys have seen me last, pretty much since the beginning of July. It's been a whirlwind. It really has been a whirlwind. But I'm trying to get into consistency with posting episodes, posting snippets of episodes. I'm trying to get into consistency with a lot of things when it comes to the LMF pod. So just stay tuned because it's coming. And this is pretty consistent for me. I know this is only episode 2, but I told y'all every other Saturday. And so here we are, another Saturday in the books for us. And I'm sitting here recording the episode. It's not Saturday today, by the way. It's not Saturday. But I'm sitting here recording the episode, and I feel good that I got up and recorded the episode today, and wanted to record the episode today, and wanted to talk today, because that's something these past couple of weeks that I haven't been doing much of. I haven't been doing much talking. I've been doing a little bit more reflecting, but we're going to get into that. But yeah. Interesting month of July. So let's touch on the month of July real quick. Let me touch on my month of July for y'all. So the beginning of the month started, I had a lot of family come into town. We recently, at my home in Delaware, at my mom's house in Delaware, she recently just finished the backyard finally. So, of course, with backyard and with a pool and with a grill and everything comes kids. And it was the 4th of July, and we did that. We did a barbecue, and everybody came and cooked food, and we got to celebrate my Nana's birthday. That was in June. And so it was kind of just nice to have family around. It was nice to be surrounded by family that, everybody hasn't seen in a while. It's nice to have the kids be there and be surrounded by the kids. It was just really, really good. It consisted of a lot of traveling for me. I was in Delaware pretty much like every weekend. And that was a lot. It took a toll, especially since I'm on break right now, with the NFL. It takes a toll because I'm here during the week, but then I kind of leave on like Thursday, and then I'll be in Delaware for a couple of days, and then it's taken a toll on me. It's taken a toll on my car. And frankly, I am excited this weekend to just be here in my home and just be chill, because it's nothing is better than being in your own spot. And that's how I've been feeling, with traveling and everything like that. I've attended a lot of concerts. I know if you guys follow me on Instagram, at Nia the Queen, that's my actual personal Instagram. I'm going to make sure I put that in the lower thirds. But if you guys follow me on Instagram and you guys have been keeping up with me, you guys have been seeing that I have been going to concerts like nobody's business. And I'm not mad at it. This is like one of my first single summers in, do we even really count the pandemic? I don't even know. Do we even really count the pandemic? But it's one of my first single summers for a while. With being a young adult, being outside. And so this is like one thing that I said I was going to do. Moving out here, being closer to Philadelphia, was making sure that I did the things I like to do. And for me, like when it comes to concerts, I don't need a concert buddy. I'm one that I attended Firefly Music Festival, quick plug, in Dover, Delaware. I've attended that pretty much all throughout high school and pretty much all throughout college. And that's something that I did annually, and that's something that I loved. Sometimes I would go with friends. Sometimes the experience going with friends weren't the best, or was, it wasn't the best all the time. Sometimes it was good. Other times, me going by myself ended up working fantastic. Like when I ended up going to Firefly, and I ended up that day saying, like, I was going to meet up with my friend. And then I was like, nah, I'm not going to meet up with her. I'm going to, dress comfortable. They had finally moved Firefly to September, so it wasn't during the summer, so it wasn't super uncomfortably hot and musty and stink out there. It actually was like, warm during the day and cool during the afternoon. Long story short, that Firefly year that I went by myself was the best Firefly I had ever been to ever. I saw Nelly. I was front row for Nelly. He ended up throwing his hat to me, which was great. And I sat front row for Megan Thee Stallion, which is really who I wanted to see because I'm a stallion. I'm a hottie. I'm a part of her, her little fan club or whatever. So I was super excited for that. And yeah, I ended up seeing her front row and she ended up pulling me on stage and she wanted me to twerk. But frankly, for me, I'm not working with much in the back area. I really do shake what my mom gave me and she did not give me much. I was not blessed with much, but that is okay. But I still went up there and I was just, honestly, I was mesmerized by Megan. But anyway, now I'm going on a spiel. Now I'm going on a tangent. That's not what I was trying to say. But what I was trying to say is I love concerts. I attend concerts all the time. And this summer, I really made it a part of my goal to not attend as many concerts as I can, but just all my favorite artists were outside at the same time. And I don't know, I was excited. So yeah, just this month, I've seen Beyonce, which that was not planned, by the way. My mom actually woke up one day and was like, okay, Beyonce is coming. Let me look at some tickets. She purchased the tickets. We went. That was it. And so that was a great surprise because that was like a spur of the moment. Like I wasn't planning my Renaissance outfit and didn't already have things like pre-planned like months in advance. Like I see a lot of people, but I went and I saw and I conquered and I experienced. That was my first time seeing Beyonce, and I saw her at a stadium tour, and it was fantastic. She put on a great show. Her mic was on, as it should be, period, because she's Beyonce. And yeah, it was a great tour. And then a couple of days later, I ended up seeing Rema again for about the third time. I saw him last year for the first time after I had just got into his music the beginning of last summer, and then fell in love with him, and then went on ahead and saw him at Afro Nation in April. Was pretty much front row for that. And then this concert, a couple days ago, I just wanted to like chill. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to go and experience Rema and, just be in the music, not be too worried about being on stage and like getting his attention and screaming to the top of my lungs. I ended up meeting up with some friends that I had met at Afro Nation. Well, I met one friend at Afro Nation and he met them at Afro Nation. So it just ended up working out. But now we're all friends and now we're all going to hang out on a consistent basis because we love Afro beats and we love music and we're all around the same age and we love concerts. And so, yeah, I ended up meeting up with them, which was completely coincidental because I actually walked out of my Uber and the same time that I was opening the door and walking out of the Uber to walk up to was it at the Fillmore? I think it was at the Fillmore. To walk up to the Fillmore in Philadelphia, here they come walking down the street and they're like, Nia? I'm like, wait a minute, it's you. So, everything happens for a reason and, I had a great time. But outside of that, back to the real moral of the podcast today. This year has been the hardest year of my life. The hardest year of my life so far. I'm not saying I won't have other hard years. I'm not saying the year might not get better. It might get better. It might not get better. It might get harder. But as of right now, it's been hard. Like it's it's had its highs, but when there's a high, you know you have to fall. Not and mind you, I didn't say you have to fail. I didn't say any of that. You know that when you reach a peak, you know there's going to be a you're going to have to go down again to be able to come back up. And for me, I've had peaks, but they've been short. They've been short, quick peaks. And it hasn't been a peak where it's like a big peak and then, I'm riding that peak for a while and then I hit a low and then I'm back at the peak. Like, no, I've hit that peak. I'm excited. I'm ready for what else is going to come. And then boom, it drops into a low, and then the low lasts and it lasts and it lasts and it lasts. And it's been hard. It has been hard. And one thing that I really want to do, obviously, is normalize it a little bit. Normalize it for everyone, not just people, dealing with mental health issues, but just normalize it for people, period. Normalize the fact that people have lows, period. And that's one of the biggest things that I really want to do. And for me, that has included a lot of old faces coming into the mix. It's included a lot of people popping back up into my life that haven't been there, or people that have been there for years just disappearing into the wayside. Issues are happening and things are occurring, and I'm up here confused because I'm like, why am I going through this? I've had this friendship for 5-6 years. Why all out the blue I wake up on one weekend and we're falling out? Why is that the case? And of course, those are some things you'll never always have the answer to those, and sometimes you'll never get the answer to those, and sometimes those things just happen. But those things are hard, and those are things that I've been dealing with. I've been dealing with people leaving that I don't want to leave, and I've been dealing with people coming back that I know do not need to come back. But for some reason, because of the person I am, I'm allowing them that space to come back. And it's been hard. And, I thought about, one of my friends told me, when I was kind of talking to her about everything, she said, go on ahead, and if you need to record yourself, just record yourself and just talk, or just write about it or journal it. And I've done all of that. And this is where I said, like, I was proud of myself for picking myself and saying, like, I'm going to come and record this episode of my podcast. And this is what I'm going to talk about specifically, because my podcast is about letting me finish, letting me say what I have to say, letting me get my final thought off. It's all my thoughts. It's all my opinions. All my opinions and my thoughts here on this podcast are my own. I really don't care about how controversial they are. Who cares about what, if anybody even listens to the whole podcast? At the end of the day, it's my podcast, and this is what I want to talk about. And I'm happy to be able to have this platform, to start building this platform, to be able to start talking about these things, because they're not talked about enough. And when they are talked about, I feel like people that aren't dealing with things that are going wrong in their life, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to listen. It's almost like people telling you, why do you only pray when it's something bad? Why are you not praying when things are happening and things are good? And that's really the truth. Why are we not taking care of ourselves, regardless of if we're at that low peak or we're at that high peak? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't we doing that? And that's something that I've really been working on in terms of self-reflection for myself, is making sure that I'm allowing myself equal attention, equal opportunity, and also making sure that I'm giving myself some grace. That's the big part. That's the moral of the whole podcast today, is just give yourself some grace. July was for me, very negative. And, I'm sure I talk to people and I hear people, or people might see me on social media and they might say, well, how was your July negative? You saw Beyonce, you saw Rema, you got to travel here, you were hanging out at home at your pool, you're not working right now, so you get to relax, you got this concert coming up, you got that concert coming up, I'm seeing Drake on July 31st, so like, this is not even the end of my concert series for July, and I got people scrolling up on my Instagram asking me like, how are you doing this? How are you able to afford this? And how could this how are you up here possibly saying like you're having a hard month and you're doing all this other type of stuff? Because I'm still prioritizing my mental health and what I find important and things that make me happy. And I think those are things that are very important to me, because guess what? For me, personally, listen, those that know, and those that don't know, you just don't know. But this month, I will never forget this month. Ever. For the rest of my life. I will always remember this specific month in this specific year. Yes, I'm sitting here on the podcast and I'm saying, I've had a hard year. Like, this year has been, I've been telling my friends, I've been feeling like I have been getting jumped. And I don't know if anybody else that's listening or that's watching right now on YouTube feels the same way, but I have just been wanting to take some time for me. I've been wanting to shut it all down. I have not been wanting to be on social media, to post, you know what I'm saying? And even when I do want to post, I want to post what I want to post. I don't want to worry about social media and the aesthetic and this and that and trying, like, everybody right now is a content creator. And guess what? Hand claps. I praise y'all for doing that, because it's hard to be a content creator. It's hard to be consistent. You have to start from somewhere. And I'm seeing so many people build up their channels and their socials, their TikToks, their brand deals, their promotions, and everything so fast because they're dedicated. And I commend y'all, because when you hit that point where you're rolling and things are coming out, it feels good. You're ready to record a next episode. You're ready to record the next vlog. You know what I'm saying? When things are good, you're ready to do that. But when things are bad, when you go through trials and tribulations, sometimes that is hard. And sometimes you really just need to take it one step at a time. And again, give yourself some grace. Start off it with baby steps. The things that I've had to do these past couple weeks is just baby steps. Start off by at least just trying to wake up at a certain time. Fine, you can't wake up at a certain time. When you open your eyes, at least sit up on the end of your bed. At least try to peel yourself out of bed. Go to the bathroom, splash some water on your face, brush your teeth, get in the shower. I've done that. I've actually woken up at like 4 a.m. and just been up and be like, you know what? I'm just up. Let me refresh myself. Let me get myself clean. Let me feel a little bit better. Let me not feel like I'm just dragging. And I physically have gotten up and gotten in the shower. And sometimes you just have to do what you have to do to just keep it pushing and just keep pushing through, because, your mental health really does matter. Your mental health really, really does matter. Hey, LMF fam. Hope you're enjoying this week's episode of the Let Me Finish podcast with Nia Pope. If you're on Apple Music, Stitcher, or Spotify, make sure you add LMF Pod to your list. And if you're watching on YouTube, go on ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content. Also, make sure you check out my recommended list of mental health resources on my Linktree, or visit www.mentalhealthfirstaid.org for free mental health resources. Okay, now back to the episode. Welcome back. Once again, welcome back. I hope you guys love those little commercials. Sometimes I like to throw a little commercial in there, some little time in there, just to give you guys a break from hearing my voice. But I promise we won't be too long. It's nice to sit on here and talk. It's nice to frankly sit on here and smile. I don't know. I've been telling my friends, like, these past couple weeks, I've just been at home just silent. Like, to the point where, like, you've been silent for so long, you make a noise or, like, just clear your throat, just almost to see what you sound like, because you haven't heard yourself talk in hours. And I haven't wanted to talk. I haven't really had the need to talk. I've just wanted to be in my own space and kind of just be in my own space. And so it's great. I didn't actually start recording on my microphone. So let's hope that I can pull some of this audio from this video and put it back into my microphone, because I actually forgot to press record on my microphone. But we're back. We're back now. But yeah, as I was saying, I hope you guys liked the commercial. I hope you guys liked the little commercial break. But we're back, and we're going to continue to touch on this topic of mental health and giving yourself grace. And I don't know. I feel like giving yourself grace was the perfect topic for today, because maybe for me, it's what I feel like I need to hear. And sometimes I need to hear that you do not have to have everything together. Give yourself the grace to be alone, be silent. Give yourself the grace to heal. Give yourself the grace to heal. Heal from situations and heal from missing people. Heal from there might be things you don't even know you have to heal from. You know what I'm saying? But give yourself that time. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself that time to plan. Give yourself that time to have goals. And that's, another thing that I want to continue to touch on. And that's one thing that I'll continue to touch on throughout the span of the Let Me Finish pod, because I have so many goals and so many things that I want to do that haven't been done yet. Like, y'all have no clue. So many things that I want to do, so many things that I've told people just here and there throughout the years. Like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to write this. I'm going to produce this. And I haven't even done it yet. But I'm giving myself the grace and the time to, mature. Because that's important too, right? Being mature and maturing is important too. Being mature and maturing from situations and maturing in a way that you're becoming an adult, so you're actually interested in other things that maybe you weren't interested in before. I'd say that's maturing. I'd say that's moving away from, things from high school and things from college, and moving into something that's, less childish and more suited. And so those are some of the things that I've really been working on. I've really been working hard on. And, my biggest advice that I still want to give to people, and my biggest advice that I still want to give to anybody listening, is really just not take your time, but when you're going through your peaks and your falls, or your rises and your falls, give yourself that time. Give yourself the grace. For me, although on break, finding jobs that I like that are specifically tailored to me have been difficult. I've applied for positions. Some of the positions I've heard back from, some of the positions I've done the interview for, and I realized that the position just isn't for me. And I felt like I was at that point doing or just applying to something just because. But like, I go back and I look at my resume, and I know for myself sometimes, when I look back at my jobs and what jobs I was applying to and what I was doing, and how I seem to go through this same repetition, the same thing every summer. It seems to be the same thing every single summer for me. I do really, really well, and then summer comes, and then I might have a break, and then during the summer when I have a break, I'm just, I don't know. I deal with some seasonal depression. I mean, who doesn't deal with some seasonal depression? Unfortunately for me, my seasonal depression always, always, always happens to come during the summer. But, I'm trying to realize, I'm starting to realize that it's normal. And that there are outlets for that. Hence the outlets that I mentioned in the commercial. Hence the outlets that I'm going to attach below in my links for different things that you can do mental health wise. Finding a therapist, journaling, walking, talking to family, talking to friends, going to the gym. Those are just some of the things that you can do to kind of better yourself. And, those are some of the things that I've been doing to kind of better myself. And those are the things that I kind of want to share with you guys so that you guys can help better yourself as well. And even if you guys are doing fantastic, you guys might be doing great right now. That's fine. But just like I was talking about earlier, there's a balance. And the same way you take care of yourself when you're down is the same way you should take care of yourself when you're up. It's the same exact way. There should be no, you only take care of yourself when you're down, and then when you're up, you're so busy pouring into the cup of others when you don't even have enough for yourself. Pour into your cup first. The funniest part is when I talk about pouring into your cup first, I always think about when you're on a flight, on any flight, you're on a plane, and the flight attendants are giving that little thing with the oxygen mask, and when they talk about assisting others in the event of an emergency on the flight, they always say, put your mask on first before you go to assist others. Because how are you supposed to help people if you can't help yourself? How am I supposed to help somebody next to me on the flight? The plane is crashing and falling however many thousands of feet, and I'm supposed to help you put your mask on first, and I can't even put my mask on. Now I'm passed out. Now we both dead. No. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Focus on you. Fix yourself first. You do not, and I know I'm about to go off on a tangent, y'all, because listen, when I tell y'all this month has been, it's had its interesting mix of highs and lows, and dealing with people, and people moving shady, and people moving shicey, and people just like up and leaving you. Like it's been that month. And you know what? I'm done apologizing for taking time for myself. I'm done apologizing. I'm done apologizing for not answering that text message, not picking up that phone sometimes. And I'm sorry. If it's a real true emergency, you're going to know how to reach out to me. But outside of that, I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm no longer going to be sitting here apologizing for taking care of me and my mental health first. If I have stuff going on, I have a busy weekend, I got family coming into town, and you texted me and you reached out, and I saw your text, and I've acknowledged you, and I knew that you texted me, and there's other things going on. I might forget, I might keep it pushing, but at the end of the day, girl, you're not going to be mad at me because I didn't see your text. Like, what? Like, be for real. You cannot, take that time for you. If that text message is coming through and you can't, you're not at that right mental space right now to answer it, take the time. Fill your cup first, then handle everybody else after. I don't care. I don't care what y'all call it. Like this is where I say, let me finish my point, because be selfish for you. And that's what I've started to do. That's the point where I'm at right now. I'm being selfish for Nia and only Nia. It's like, that's where I'm at right now. And that's how I'm feeling. So, any of my friends or whatever, I'm not trying to be so like blunt and like with y'all, but that's kind of just been where my head is at. Like, and I'm sorry, I'm sorry that I haven't been able to communicate with y'all like I have been communicating before. But I'm not sorry for taking the time for myself. I'm not sorry for not answering that text because I needed some time to spend time with my family, or I needed some time to do that, and I couldn't sit on the phone and listen to your issue or what you had going on. Because guess what? At the end of the day, this world spins and we're all on it. You're not the center of the world. You do not heat up you are not the sun. We do not revolve around you. We don't do any that is not the case. And so, for those of my friends that have been supportive and that have respected that, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. For those of y'all that have gone, or for those people that still really don't have an understanding of what that's like, y'all have an understanding, because there will be times, there's going to be times when you're just going to need to have your own space and just want to be on your own. And if nobody understands that, they're just not going to have to understand, because guess what? You have to focus on you first. And, I think that's what's most important. So we've talked about giving yourself grace. We've talked about people coming back into your life and leaving your life, that things unexpectedly happening. We've talked about having high highs and very low lows and how to deal with that. We talked about some mental health resources that you could utilize for you. Some mental health resources being free, some you have to pay for, but a lot of things that you could start with before you even get to the point where you have to go and pay a therapist. A lot of those things, you could start with something simple, like the journaling, like the finding that one trusted person that you could talk to, like the just taking the 5 minutes to walk a day. You could start any of that stuff. So we've talked about that stuff. We really touched on the fact that mental health has mattered and it still matters. And the very last thing that I wrote down here that I was like, I need to talk to them about it, or I need to at least mention it, is don't block your blessings by being negative. Don't. I say, with good intent, focus on you and put yourself first, but don't be a negative Nancy. Don't be on here showing one face and then be on your Twitter or your spam or wherever talking bad about somebody else, or talking negatively about yourself or what you have going on, or saying, I can't do this, or I won't be able to do this because everybody else is doing it. Just do it. Do it for you. Stop being so damn negative all the time. Stop being so damn hard-headed all of the time. Stop making everything so negative, so Debbie Downer. People don't want to be around that. And I know that just seemed random to y'all that I even brought that up, but if you feel like I'm talking to you, if you feel like the shoe fits, then the shoe fits. Then the shoe fits. Enough is enough. No more negativity. We're done with the negativity. We got how many months of the year left? 5, 6 months of the year left? 5 months? Stop being negative. This year is moving like the speed of light. I don't know what type of crack 2023 is on, but for the rest of the year, if y'all are following me or I'm following y'all and I'm watching y'all stuff and y'all want to start being negative, go on ahead and do me a favor and go on ahead and just hit the button that says unfollow user. Just go on ahead and do that. You can unfollow me and you can go on ahead and have me unfollow you, because guess what? I don't need the negativity in my life. I'm not going to be on there while nobody's up there on their Instagram cussing out their baby dad and putting all their social media and all their personal stuff on social media and all that. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be doing nobody sitting on their close friends, having me on their close friends because they're crying because they're so down on themselves and they're just they just want all this sympathy, but they don't want to do nothing about it, and they just want to be so negative. Everybody's doing this and I haven't been invited to this and whatever. Keep it pushing. Move on. What's next? How are we going to not be negative? How are we going to be positive? What can you positively say? So you don't have a job. So what can you positively do to make sure that you can secure yourself a job in the next couple of months? What can you do to make sure that you're improved so that you can go on ahead and get that job? What can you do if you don't have no friends and you're so depressed and bored at home? What can you do to be able to go out and mingle and be able to meet people? You're at home, you're lethargic, you up here walking up the steps and you breathing heavy. And all you want to do is be negative about the fact that your clothes is not fitting and you're not doing whatever. So what have you done about it? Have you started eating better? Have you said you want to purchase a gym membership? Have you started doing any research? Have you started, what have you done to help improve yourself? Exactly. So, I'm done with the negativity. I'm done with all of that. I'm personally, for me, I'm moving towards having faith. I'm moving towards achieving my goals. I'm moving towards trying to be more consistent. I'm moving towards trying to be a better communicator. I'm moving towards trying to, for me, praise God more, put God more in my life, give him the praises when I'm up and when I'm down. I'm just trying to really, stay consistent and be the best Nia I could be at this point. And I hope anybody that's listening really, really hears that, just because you see all that you see on social media, everything is not peaches and cream. People go through struggles, people deal with struggles. And that's the biggest thing I wanted to talk about on this podcast, because I'm only 23. That voice crack was disgusting. I'm only 23. But I feel like, I'm still so young. Just like I was talking to my friend Bria today, and she kept saying, I want to be grown. And I was like, girl, you are grown. And she's like, no, I'm a young adult. That's true. We are. We're just now getting in this game. We 3 years and some change into this game. Like, we are not grown-ups yet. And that's okay. For some of us that had to be grown-ups fast, you guys might be grown-ups. That is okay. But for me and mine, at least for me, I'm not a grown-up yet. I'm still figuring things out. Things are still tough. I still get rejections. I get rejections from people. I get rejections from jobs. Shit happens. At this point, you can only control what you can control. And yeah, that's really what I wanted to talk to you today about. Talk to y'all today about. I just really thank y'all, and just really, really thank y'all from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to just sit on here and talk. And if you reach the end of the podcast, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. Trying to get into this business, whether it's just for fun or whether it's because you actually want to be a content creator, is difficult. And, for me, I've stopped comparing myself to people. We all have a different amount of Instagram followers. We all have a different amount of things that we're interested in, and music that we're interested in, and people that we're interested in, and people that we hang out with, and sororities and fraternities and clubs that we're a part of, and causes that we support, and people we don't support, and political judgment and everything. We're so different, and that's okay. And, I appreciate those of y'all that like to come on here and listen to me be different in my way. I appreciate that more than you guys know. And, hopefully next episode I can go ahead and bring some guests on. I really, really do have some exciting things planned for the podcast. It's just been moving a little bit slower than I've expected. I've had some things planned. I've talked to some people, but once you start including other people in your journey, or want to start including other people in your journey, it gets a little bit difficult, because not everybody is, not everybody is available. Not everybody works on your time. You don't always work on their time, and sometimes things just don't always align, but I'm going to try my best. And I hope everybody has a good rest of their weekend, and a good, you guys head into a good week, and I'm super, super excited to continue talking to you guys and to see you guys in the next episode and continue just talking about things. And yeah, guys, give yourself some grace. You do not have to have it all together. Give yourself that grace, give yourself space, give yourself time. Be alone, be solo, be together, be with people. Do what makes you comfortable and what's good for you. So, hope everybody enjoyed the podcast. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.